Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together.
Let's tear down Pagante together.
Let's tear down Pagante together.
Let's tear down starch masks.
Oh, God.
All right. We need a Luigi board.
I need a Ouija board.
A Luigi board.
A Ouija board.
We're going to get a quiche board. If I need a Luigi board, do I have to ask a witch or a vegan?
All right, let's restore the pillars before we do the floor, because if we're going to do this in order of operations, please, I'm going to die.
The problem is we're not tearing down the pillars, we're restoring them. We should do the floor first.
Oh, shit.
If we're imagining we tore down the pillars first instead of restored them first, then we would have to do the floor first.
Why do you have to logic your way into this? Fine,
because I have repaired and rebuilt too many damn things and occasionally done them in the wrong order and went, shit, I have to redo that. Instead of trying to fake it, like they did at one of my friend's house, where they actually now have molding and your 3/4 round, which is your tiny molding on the bottom of it, because the people didn't take it off to refloor it, so they basically put a baseboard on the baseboard to cover the gap, instead of just redoing their mistake.
That sounds terrible.
It's so ridiculous looking.
Ah!
It's so bad.
It sounds also, like, huge.
Well, it's just, you get your normal little, like, baseboard, like your just your edging kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's, only about 3 inches high, maybe, probably 3 inches high. And then your quarter round is only about, an inch high.
Right.
And so it's just stuck on the bottom, so you basically have the stepping experience. And it's so hilarious.
I mean, it could look maybe kind of interesting if you knew what you're doing, but again, you'd have to want to do that on purpose.
Well, and the wood doesn't match each other and stuff. It's like what happened was they put the floor in without taking off the molding on the sides, which if you don't know what molding is, please just look it up. It's just baseboards or it's just boards along the edge.
I was going to say,
around a room.
Yep, down.
And it just covers the connection between your flooring and your wall, whether that's carpet or wood or tile or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Otherwise, your your drywall coming down or even your wooden wall to the edge of your floor isn't going to be a clean connection.
Right.
So there will be like a gap or something. Anyway, and so that's what that baseboard is for, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why you have your baseboard heat, because it's in the baseboard.
Right.
And so normally you would have to take those baseboards off if you're going to paint, unless you're painting the baseboard as well. Mm-hmm. And also if you're going to recarpet, refloor, otherwise you can't get up under them very well.
Right.
And so they refloored it with wooden floor, whoever redid the house before they bought it. And then to cover their mistake of not taking the baseboards off and not being able to match that gap, they just put another smaller baseboard around the edge.
Oh,
it's so bad.
So terrible.
Anyway, so I'm all about, sort of instead of kind of jury rigging or kludging your mistakes, just fixing them.
Kludging?
Yeah.
What's kludging?
Kludging is just doing something that's basically a temporary cheat.
That sounds hilarious. I love that word. It's like kludgeoning or curmudgeoning or curmudgeon. It's like it's a weird combination of words.
So if you kludge it, like you basically can go, well, I used glue here, and normally you'd use a clamp or something. You just MacGyver something, you kludge it.
You kludge it.
You kludge it.
I love that word. All right, replace the tea garden floor.
All right, so we're going to replace the floor first.
I'm so excited.
We're just going to assume we already removed the pillars. Just pretend the pillars are gone.
Because we can't do anything about them right now. What do you think this place was for?
Clearly tea.
Romantic boning.
It was for rescuing the princess from the Garden of Thorns.
Yeah, princess! I gotcha!
It looks like a tea garden. Whatever that looks like. Okay, so I have to say, since I have never seen a tea garden before, except for in potentially, no, I really haven't. I've seen tea had in a garden, but not specifically a tea garden.
No, I know that, which is why I said the closest we've ever had, potentially, is watching
in a garden.
Tea in a garden.
Very British movies. We've seen a lot of British movies.
Yes, very British movies, where they like to do that.
Where they have to have tea in a garden. Oh, my darling, would you like to come out for tea in the garden?
Tea garden.
It's tea in the garden, my dear.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
So when she just says it looks like a tea garden, my brain is like, okay, so is the structure of a tea garden that you have some kind of circular patio with a pergola over it and roses? Does that make a tea garden? How do you visually recognize a tea garden as opposed to another kind of garden?
I mean, as far as there is a tea garden is a garden in which tea and other refreshments are served to the public. Or a tea plantation?
Okay,
apparently?
Hang on. A tea garden, then, is just a social construct. and I wouldn't know how to recognize one specifically if it's just where you serve the refreshments. I would honestly say you'd have to walk a long damn way from the house to use this tea garden, therefore very impractical.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I do not understand what this is about at all. You grow tea here?
Thank
Yes!
you! Because yes,
And the
let's do
answer
it.
is actually, according to Google, correct, because it's also a tea plantation. So that's what a tea garden is also. It's not
Because it
just
could also be a garden you grow tea in. There can
Uh-huh.
be- There's a social and a functional.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool. And it would make sense as to then why you would potentially have like buildings where you'd have, basically a little setup where you'd try the tea that you've been growing to see how well it's doing.
Sort of like a winery where
Ooh.
you try
The wine. Oh my god.
But it's a teaery where
It's
you
a-
have a tea keep.
What do you have? Tea keep?
A tea keep. Okay, so I don't think many of the people watching this series have seen our Okami series because they are very, very different games.
Uh-huh.
But I just have to tell you, and I'm so glad you're all here. It has been a very charming group watching this game, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it. That in one of those episodes, you have a lot of like going to a shop and buying things.
Right.
And at one point you go to a tea shop, but they always called the other ones shop keeps when you're buying stuff from them.
Right.
So I just said tea keep because they had a tea shop.
It's so good.
And so I'm just like, we have, your tea keep works in your tea garden and sells tea.
Yay!
She sells
Tea
tea by the
and
tea garden.
Oh god.
Damn, there's got to be a way to make that work. All right.
I thought you were going for she sells tea by the tea, like she sells tea by the pound.
Oh no.
So, tea by the tea. Yes,
That's adorable.
Uh-huh.
All right. No, you just kind of like sit and drink here and probably gossip a little. It's like, why would you call a beer garden a tea garden? Because you just sit and drink here.
I see, and now I know that Lily has it inaccurate. So I'm
Uh-huh.
so excited to know something that Lily does not know and that I can tell you.
Okay, I also am excited I want him to misunderstand it then as a beer garden because it took me forever to understand what a beer garden is.
What
Which
is a
is-
beer garden?
So a beer garden is your social construct of the tea garden. It's a
Oh.
place you go to drink beer out in the garden.
Oh, it's kind of like going to your winery and you have your outside patio where everybody. Oh,
Except for I
we've
don't
actually been to a couple of those and they're a little weird. I don't really enjoy them. Like, we actually were invited to a winery for a party at one point,
Uh-huh.
for like where these people were like, "Yeah, it's this thing," and it was the most awkward
It was so weird.
experience.
We were the wrong socio-demographic people to invite to that party.
because
And it was so obvious once we got there. Nobody was like us at all. It was amazing. And we're just like, hello. We know nothing about wine, and what I'm going to do in your vineyard is find all the coolest bugs.
And it was also really funny to go there anyway, just because for both of us, neither of us were really interested in going to a party where they were like, yeah, welcome to a party where you can pay to have more fun, where I invited you. Like, I was a weird thing where I was sitting there going, I feel like I just got invited to a loot box dynamic, kind of thing, where they were just like, yes, welcome to this party where you have to pay more to get more out of it,
So
even
it
though
was
you
like-
were invited, because they had a food cart there. Food truck. They had
Yeah.
a food truck there where you had to pay to get your food, which was frustrating.
And so it was like this party amongst acquaintances and friends. That was a celebration.
acquaintances.
I was to say, but like some of them for good, really good acquaintances.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a big company event at all.
all.
It was a private little party, and they're like, you can buy wine and buy food, and the water's free. And I was like, this is the weirdest party I've been to, because I'm used to like potluck parties or like, $5 pizza parties, it's your whole Little Caesars, whatever.
Right.
Like I'm used to the food is free if there's food.
Yeah.
Like all the way. And I think poor people really are like feed each other. So a lot of poor people parties, and I'm just putting myself in the poor people demographic because while I'm a little,
I join you. It's okay.
I say, while I'm a little better off now, and I say a little because Corona is a challenging time. I was raised extremely poor by what I understand the American standards are and it was just one of those things of going, I'm not used to a party where you have to bring money unless it's admission to like the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, makes
or
total
admission
sense.
to the skate rink kind of thing.
Or just sort of admission to something that was much bigger, where it's like you're here to go to like the theme park, but you can't buy the extra stuff. Like here's the basic pass.
I was just say
But
it's the kind of thing I've never even been to a party where it was I paid your way in. It's all like everyone buys their own $2 skate admission. You know that before you come to the party. You're told because poor people tell you how much money you need to have and what's going to be expected
Yeah.
of you, so you don't get stuck. because nobody else can float you sometimes. I would say, and so there's this experience of going, you're going to need to bring this much money and have this expectation, and here's what we're going to provide.
Right.
Kind of thing. And they let you bring food in is a great answer for any, like, venue, because everyone goes, yay, we'll be able to eat instead of starve while we're in there.
Yay! Honestly, I hate that, actually, where you go to places and they're like, the way that we make our money is by, you know, basically making sure that you can't bring in your food. And it's like, the stuff is so freaking expensive. Like, just going there is already a strain as it is, but now it's like, how the crap are we supposed to be able to feed ourselves so we don't starve while we're interacting with this thing, you know? It's like, ugh.
All right, just probably sit and drink.
Like on some of those PBS Masterpiece kind of shows.
Okay, that's very cute, actually. But I was just like, she didn't say drink tea. She just said sit and drink. And I just really wanted him to go, beer garden, so hard.
That might be, even for him, that might be a weird, unique thing that's really only, because that sounds like something I'd only run into in Colorado.
On the other hand, PBS Masterpiece, there is a lot of, like, microbrew and beer culture in Colorado.
There's so much out here.
Huge amount of beer culture in Colorado. And I will have to say that I am still the wrong demographic for living in this state, because I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
And there is so much beer here. People have trips here to have the beer. Like, it is apparently a huge piece of culture. The Tour de Fat is a bicycle, like, big social experience they do annually every year up in, well, in a lot of places.
I mean, they've done it in Boulder. They've done it in Fort
Fort
Collins.
a lot of places in Colorado.
They got it in Denver.
And it is this huge bicycle activity with, like, costumes and flair and all this stuff that's about a specific kind of beer. Yeah. Or beer company.
I don't actually know, because I've never been.
It's okay. It is.
It's okay. I've heard about it.
It's like Fat Tire beer, but I can't remember the brewing company right now.
Oh, I think, Fat Tire is the name of the company.
Oh, is the actual company?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so, like some of the PBS Masterpiece kind of shows, and so I'm like, okay, do you watch PBS?
That's adorable.
Know. Yeah, but we're not drinking anything here before we fix up the floor and the benches. That was your chance to learn something about Luke. That was it, going by in front of you. It just, whoosh, that was your opportunity to go, really? Do you watch PBS Masterpiece?
Which is honestly really cool, and we should support public broadcasting services.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Public services, like, you know,
the United States
NPR
Postal Service.
As a PBS and the United States Postal Service.
You know, National Public Radio, NPR. The thing that always makes me laugh about that, so there was a thing on Twitter. The reason we're bringing this up is because I saw a thing on Twitter where literally there was an article that was like, wow, the United States Postal Service loses billions every year. And everybody came in going, they're a fucking service. They're not intended to be a company. And then several people also came in, so this is in the United States, where they were like, all right, now do the military.
Okay, so what actually happened was they were like, despite the U.S. Postal Service losing millions or billions of dollars every year, like making negative profits, it ranks extremely popular amongst citizens. 90% approval rating. And someone went, next to the military. And they were so excited. And it was like, yeah, one, what's the approval rating of your military? Two, how much money does it lose? Because does it make money? Does the military make money?
I don't think the military really makes money, though honestly they might make money off of people and murdering people, but you never know, because I don't know what items soldiers pick up when they go across. I'm probably going to make somebody really angry, but I've definitely heard a lot of cases about soldiers getting in trouble for looting, for raping, for doing all sorts of pillaging and plunder when they're not supposed to in other countries. It happens very commonly, and it's one of those things, it's like with the police, where they're pretty garbage in that way, unfortunately, because that's the culture you raise them with, and you go, no, this is fine. You're the good guys. You're saving people, and these are bad guys, so therefore you don't have to respect their space or their privacy or anything about them.
Whatever it is, there is a problem with the culture of how people are trained in both institutions, and it is not creating a great, ubiquitous crop of wonderful people.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, benches.
My friend burps off into a corner.
Pardon me.
Ooh.
All right, so again, pretend the pillars are gone and we did this in the right order. Okay, so that's just fixing it. I don't see any grass in there. Oh, that's pretty.
That is kind of pretty.
I like one of these better. So there is the original, and that's kind of fun.
I don't know. I think
I want to do the original because we don't have a lot with actually like decorative like patterns in it.
No, we really don't.
So I really, because we have a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but I love this one. So we're just gonna go with that. However,
ta-da! Hey, looks great.
It should. That barely looks like tile work though, with the green and the red. Like it's hard to
It's
see
really
the
tiny
seams.
mosaic work. I
Yeah,
betcha.
like that's amazing. Good job, them, by the way.
Like Lane, that is difficult to do. By the
All
way.
right.
Now only the benches are keeping us from tea time.
Okay, that's cute. And
That's
honestly,
really cute.
right now I feel like they are drawing a parallel to Karen, which is very charming to me because of her just focusing on the hibiscus tea
Mm-hmm.
and him going tea, and both of them tea.
Tea.
And daughter looks at father and they both go tea. And then Lily goes, but I don't care about tea. And then they never date, and it's great.
Hey! And then they finally figure out that they're not any good for each
That
other.
they don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
Ah! Except for they're both pretty okay with working with their hands. I'm not saying they don't have anything in common. I'm just saying I don't feel it.
You know,
Dog
do
is
I.
very excited about that floor. Did you see how excited Dog
Uh-huh.
was? Like,
He's bouncing around.
Oh my god, a floor! Yes!
Yeah!
I love floors.
So I can go click, 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 click with
Mhm.
my toenails.
Think you can handle fixing up these benches, Metal Man? Because we're not apparently replacing them with stone in any way.
I was gonna say, those are stone, not metal. What are you talking about?
It's okay. We're just gonna yeet this marble out of here. Bye!
Expensive marble. Goodbye, flea.
Pretty much. You know what? Some of those pieces are so big, you could take them over to your grandpa's sculpture garden and repurpose them as something else.
Yeah, you really
like,
could.
it would be really cool. And you are handy enough with magical everything that you could totally make some cool ass shit out of that.
Patron, I'm awaiting your orders. I've got this today.
This
I'm
is
on
still
board.
the same day of the roses, so Patron's like, tomorrow I will do
Oh,
this for
tomorrow
you.
I'll be on point. It'll be
Tomorrow
fine.
I will fix all the. You know what? You have so many great ideas today. You just do really good. You deserve your day off as well. And in the meantime, I already have my tea.
Ah, well, it's like Shakespeare said. I contain multiple dudes.
Help me out here, because I haven't Shakespeare.
Oh my god, I think I know what that's from. Hang on. Keep
Okay.
going here for a second.
All right, I contain multiple.
Oh, I can get. Oh, okay. So Shakespeare goes. He says, I contain multitudes.
Multitudes, multiple dudes.
Multiple
Oh,
dudes.
that's so cute.
You're like, yes. I was like, I
it's
totally. I was
the
like, it took me a
mishearing
second.
of a century. I contain multitudes.
Ah,
That's
this-
so cute. Multiple dudes.
Multiple
That
dudes.
feels so Bill and Ted. I love
I
that.
contain multiple dudes.
It's like Socrates. You know, I contain multiple dudes. I'm so excited that they're doing a third movie. Like, it's not a remake or a reboot. It's just number 3. And Bill and Ted are dad. And it's the same actors. And it's so good. I'm excited for it. And also, the girls they cast to be their daughters.
Wasn't that actually? No, wait a minute. I'm like, no, I thought that was a Shakespeare thing.
Maybe
But
he's
it's like, so
misquoting it
what's
as well.
coming up is Walt Whitman, actually. Do I contradict myself? Very well, then I cannot contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes.
Okay, well, maybe he's just misquoting it as well, and it's a double joke.
Maybe? That'd be great.
Not, here we go. Not only was that not Shakespeare, he definitely did not say he contained multiple dudes. At least she's happy. Like, she's not actually mocking him here. She's just kind of like, hee, this is like, I am so charmed. Honestly, I thought that was very cute, but again, this feels like a weird language day for Luke. Like, they suddenly just decided more what they wanted for him this day, or they had a concept in mind, and so they're really digging into something new.
Yes. Well, I do, so who cares what some French dork said?
Is he
Was
French?
Walt Whitman French?
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Why do they keep making him more and more of a dork, going like, look, he's trying to be educated. Ha! Like, I don't know.
really don't think he's been that misinformed for most of the game. He's really been pretty on point.
Walt Whitman was an American poet.
Yes, I thought so.
I'm like, why would he assume that Walt Whitman
Is
was French?
Because he probably assumes that great quotes, if they don't come from Shakespeare, if they're not British, they're French. That's a very American assumption. If they're not, great quotes, not British, it's French.
Which I guess is fair, because I was for years convinced that Edgar Allan Poe was
British.
English,
Yeah.
like he was British English, and it was shocking, I tell you, to go, oh my God, you're American?
All right, so we're gonna tear down the pillars before we place the benches, because I can only imagine putting in fresh, clean, beautiful benches and then trying to tear down pillars on top of them while keeping them clean and undamaged.
Oh, yeah.
So again, we're just doing order of operations here. Their floor is good. The pillars have already been torn down and removed, which you did before your floor, and now pillars. We're gonna build them back in.
Let's do it.
Give me a hand here with the pillars, would ya? One hand, singular.
So there's the originals.
Those aren't though. They're not exactly the same. Those look wooden and brick. So this is actually your marble or stone. Here's wooden and brick, and then these are.
Ah.
Oh, these are the only ones that are really iconic. Ionic.
Ha, ha, ha.
ha.
You got
Okay.
your Arcana class going on. All
You
right.
got your Ionic pillar. So I don't feel like any of these goes super well with the base, but I think that one goes best.
As I said, that one I believe is supposed to be the original because the golden color on the bottom changed as well, so I don't
It's
know
pretty
why.
close.
Looking good.
Thank you. I took care with my hair today.
What?
Oh, you meant the They do. They look great. Those pillars look really good.
I can't believe you're doing woodwork without your pal.
None of this has been woodwork.
Wood?
Oh my god, did we build those out of wood
Wood?
and plaster?
What?
If these were a wooden scaffolding like you would build in a play as a set, and then you plastered and painted the outside, I would be stunned. Did they assume you chose the
Stunned.
wooden option in the middle? So stunning.
So stunning. I'm shocked, actually,
There's
personally.
I can't think of any wood that we've done so far.
I can't at all.
Is this a jab on him going and we're going to go, Luke, we haven't done any woodwork yet? Like, is this supposed to be another thing to make him look
I have
dumb?
no idea.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Huh?
Really?
Wait, what?
That's the
You've
language you're gonna use?
You've done woodwork without her all the time, and also
Yeah, so we've done a lot of welding and metal work without him. Holy shit.
Yeah, like...
Not to mention the gate we just did.
No shit!
From nowhere.
Uh-huh, I just pulled it out of my butt.
I
My butt.
sneezed it. Achoo.
A poo.
Does kind of feel like I'm cheating on her.
Aha!
So you two are dating. Sorry about that. Oh,
Yeah, you two are basically girlfriends.
what? You just said you're basically girlfriends.
Yes!
Good job.
Honestly, I love
Thank
him
you.
going, no, it's fine. You guys
know
are
what?
dating.
I love that we caught on to these themes in like episode 2 and complained about lack of things, and then they're up here on day 22 going, let's put those things in carefully. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, we're just like really, really behind the like ahead of the writers.
But
and they're
I am-
eventually going the same direction as we are in some things.
Right. But the thing that still bothers me is, so it's still that question of going, great, we're making nods to it, we're not doing anything with it character-wise at all.
Yeah.
Nobody's actually, like, really dated anyone else. We had a reference with Arturo and Leonardo, you know, where they might have been dating, but nobody's on screen doing anything.
Yeah.
It's all this in the past, or sort of a weird mention. Like, I appreciate that it's there, but once you really recognize that people could do so much more, you really kind of go, you guys,
It's also that thing where, again, a lot of their like sort of humor, joke, and references have seemed to have fallen flat for me personally, because it feels like there's no backup behind it. It feels like it's a one-liner in a character used as a vehicle rather than as something they would say themselves.
Right, it doesn't
That
feel
kind of
very
thing.
natural.
Exactly. It feels unnatural and therefore unearned and therefore less substantial.
Yes.
Pep.
Wait, are you?
Her. Well, if it makes you think I'm sexier, I will totally imply that I could be involved with a woman for your benefit. But since that's a very mature topic and also something that me personally as Lies disagrees with socially, that's totally not going to be in this subtext.
Probably
Or
not.
text, only in the subtext. Awfully bold of you to make assumptions about my love life, sir.
At least it's
Sir
not.
Knight, who is no longer a prince.
You know what has bugged me? I'm bugged, and I'm also charmed that they didn't go with the idea that. So I've run into so many people who are like, yeah, you're hanging out with your girlfriends, and you just kind of stare at them, and you're just like, I'm not dating these
them.
people.
Yeah.
And you watch people just kind of go, wait, what? No! Like, I've done it to my mom.
Yes.
And it's hilarious to
It's
me.
been so great when Scandal's mom has been like, yeah, me and my girlfriends are going out for this and that and the other. And Scandal's like, wow, you're dating a bunch of girls?
And I just do that, and my mom just thrown off every single time. Now, I haven't talked to her for a couple of months because we've had a fight or whatever, but it's fine. It's just, like, I love that they've done that, where it actually went just straight into him really genuinely saying that and really meaning
it like
that
girlfriends.
you guys are actually dating, and her going, yes, dating, rather than going the whole thing of, oh yeah, my girlfriends, they were totally this thing, you know, and just completely missing it.
I have done that too, very carefully and thoughtfully, where I have never called my friends that are women, ladies, girls, girlfriends.
Yes.
Because if you can't say, yeah, I'm hanging out with my boyfriends when I'm hanging out with my male friends, which as far as I know socially, you can't do that.
Yep.
Then girlfriends, for me, shouldn't work that way. Because that's sort of like, again, this kind of erasure of women being close to women and also having the same standards of recognition into connection as men do.
Yeah.
So that's what that is for me. So I'm like, unless I can say when I'm hanging out with, my 2 guy friends, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my boyfriends, and it means boyfriends in the way you say, yeah, I'm going to go to the mall with my girlfriends, then the term girlfriends doesn't work for me personally.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So there we are. Awfully bold of you to assume I even have a love life, sir.
Uh-huh.
I love the memes that are bold of you to assume. Fill in the blank. It's so good.
Bold of you. How would you say something so bold yet so controversial?
There's that one, and just the one of someone going, this thing or the other, and bold of you to assume I can read. Those kinds of things. Where it's just bold of you to assume is a really great meme, and I love it.
No. I mean, I didn't.
I'm just messing with you. You can make jokes about my love life if you want to. I mean, please don't.
It's perfect. It was terrible.
Although, come to think of it, she is pretty cute. And she does have crushes on a lot of actresses. And she's super into the character that, my aunt wrote as a spy. And I might have a chance. Ooh.
Okay. So before we click through, I'm having some reservations here, because usually going like, oh, though, come to think of it, she is pretty cute. And then he'll get jealous. I have seen that one played before.
So, I'm surprised you didn't go off when I was like, yeah, I'll totally say I'm interested in her if it makes you more interested in me.
No, I was getting there. I was getting there.
But yes, I solidly feel you in that way of going, her trying to make him jealous by suggesting she's in a relationship is a trope I do not like.
I don't like it either. And also the thing of going, the suggestion part, I didn't go off on it just mostly because I was like, it's funny. And we've also talked about it a lot, but it's so really, really fucking bad, where guys just go, yeah, and girls get together and it's great.
And it's hot for me, not about them over
At
there
all.
without
Having an
me.
experience where they're actually involved and they actually like each other and want to be there. But nope, it's about me and my boner, basically.
Which is what I was referencing earlier. All right.
Yes.
Pretty cute.
I deeply regret starting this conversation.
Dog.
Yep, it's jealousy.
Should.
It's totally jealousy. Thanks!
Alrighty, well.
I appreciate that. None at all. So, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. We've got some links to the description down below. Other than that, though, also, if you want to support us, please feel free to share our videos. If you had a good time, if it made you laugh, you want to start a conversation, whatever it might be, please feel free to do so. It also helps us with the algorithm, so we also appreciate that as well. But no pressure, yeah?
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I have been Scandal.
And that was a lot of heavy stuff, real fast and glossed over. And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!